out here by the dunes on the beach, trying to express myself in some kind of way that is gonna like improve my general feeling of flow, and sort of like to integrate with what I'm feeling. I'm gonna take my shoes off, maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Trying to like figure out a way to be alive right now, because it's very difficult. But it's alive is what I am, and that's good. It's good to be alive, even if it's difficult. Trying to remind myself that whatever it is that you do, and no matter how the world responds to it, remember to be kind to yourself. Because like the emotions, they will come and they will go, but it's like what we tell ourselves about ourselves and about the emotions that we have, that it's important, because we don't want to perpetuate negative feelings that aren't really true. We don't want to add negative thoughts to intense feelings, because the feelings themselves are, they're feelings. They're like a force of nature, that we happen to be closely associated with. But who is this person? Who is me? I've never found a me. I just when I look sort of at myself ever since I was a little boy, it's just like who is really there? I don't really know. It seems like I'm just witnessing something. So yeah. It's very tempting to like come up with a narrative about, it's like, why am I feeling this today? Why am I feeling that today? It was because I had this interaction or I had that interaction. But, the truth is, there's no real reason, perhaps. Perhaps it is simply, what is right now. And, it's like, what is right now is sort of like, it's God sort of always sort of speaking to us in our feelings. And, like when we can accept our feelings lovingly and without judgment and just sort of be with them and not try to add some kind of narrative that paints us as either a hero or a villain, then I feel like we're more closer to fulfilling God's will. And so I'm trying to love this, this vessel. I sort of feel like lately I've been sort of becoming more, feeling more like I'm like a spirit that is sort of watching over this character, this body, because, it's like I'm like a spirit that loves this person, but, and the spirit sort of is the force that, sort of like animates this person, but also it's like something, it's almost like a guardian angel at the same time, sort of witnessing itself, from a human perspective. I know this is like, I don't know, it may not make any sense, but I'm trying to come up with words for what I'm experiencing, and what I experience is very strange, probably, because most people are so focused on life in some narrative perspective, and I'm more about pure experience itself. And yes, I have thoughts, but I try not to like generate more thoughts on top of thoughts to like steer myself in a certain direction. I try to just like make peace with the feelings that I have, and accept, when the thoughts come, sort of accept them, accept that this is like, it's sort of a mirror, sort of like a conversation happening within myself. It's not something that I'm necessarily doing so much. It is something that I'm witnessing. And I do have choice in the matter, but it's not clear exactly where that choice comes from. And it's not like I can make the wrong choice. I mean, obviously choices have consequences, but it's not like when I go to express myself to the world and to other people, I'm not trying to go against their will. What I'm trying to do with people is just be honest and express my feelings in a way that is, both is respectful and truthful. Sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge because a lot of people think that you're being disrespectful when really you're just sort of reporting, what is happening. Because the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, this is, that is strong within the current way of thinking. We tend to think in terms of good and evil, and so everything is like this. Are you a good person or are you a bad person? Are you a good person in this moment or are you a bad person in this moment? Are you being selfish or are you being selfless? But the truth is, it's like, things are simply, as they are, and it's more of a matter of, what is it that we want out of a circumstance. And it's not, it's not so much our place to judge others, and it's not really our place to really judge ourselves so much. But we do sort of have to manage the experience, or at least make peace with it. So yeah, just got sand in my eye. So I'm trying to be loving, trying to be loving to everyone, including even people that I don't like. And what is the most loving thing that I can do for people that I don't like is I avoid them. Because I'm not really trying to correct anyone. I just, people that I don't want to have anything to do with, they don't have to be in my life. But so I came up with this aphorism a few days ago. It's like, when you look into other people's eyes, you can see what is standing between them and God, and what you'll see is their pain. And within their pain, you'll see God's love for them. And so, a lot of times it's, very painful for me to look into other people's eyes, but, what I'm doing more and more is just to be totally present with everyone that I come across. If I get the signal to back away, I do, but I try to be there for people, when I try not to pull away prematurely before I've, gotten the full message, because a lot of times, there's things going on in other people that you couldn't really imagine. And, that there's opportunities to connect with people where you didn't necessarily think it was possible, because you don't really know what is going on in a stranger's mind. The other day, this woman just started talking to me. I was checking out at Target, And, for whatever reason, I guess she like saw me as somebody who would be kind. And she, just started telling me, her life story about like, her abusive ex-husband and stuff. And, it was a very sweet interaction. And, I felt all this love for her. And, I felt blessed by the interaction, because, I was really present with her, and I kept thinking, like maybe I'll share this or that with her, but I kept like paying attention. Well, what are the needs of this moment? Okay, yeah, this woman just needs to talk about her stuff, and I'm not gonna bring my own miserable life story into it, because right now is not the time for that. Right now is the time to listen. And so, yeah, I felt very blessed, and I felt like I was a blessing to somebody else. So that was good. And, I don't know, out here in California, I feel like I'm more, naturally myself. I feel like the people here are more like me. They seem more open and, spiritual in a way that they weren't in Iowa. And, I think it's easier out here for me to have an open heart. And, I just keep walking, and when I run into people, I smile at everyone. And, it feels good. It feels good to connect with people. And, for many years, I've had this idea, that, this sort of inferiority thing. But, what I'm realizing is, everyone has their pain. Everyone has their story. Everyone could use more love. And, it's like, I realize my fear has been sort of selfish, my like tendency to sort of pull away from people, and sort of like to nurse my wounds constantly is sort of like kind of a selfish, childish way of approaching the world, because I am capable of being there for other people, even if it's only a short conversation with somebody I've never met before. And, sort of being a shoulder for them to cry on. But yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to be more present, trying to show up for people in this world, because, someday I'm not going to be here, and, I want my life to be meaningful. I want to have been somebody, who's put his, fingers on the scale and made a difference in a positive direction. Yeah. I want to be part of the, the solution. I want to help heal the people that want to be healed. Some people don't. Some people are very objective oriented because they want, very specific materialistic things, and, I'm not going to come beating anyone's door down to try to change them, but people, I'm going to keep my eye out for people who need somebody to help them. And I'm going to do my best to be there for other people. I do have bouts of really intense emotions myself a lot of times, so I can't always be there for other people, because sometimes I just have to be alone. I have to be by myself. I have to unwind, But, what really helps out here in Cali is going to the beach, hanging out by the ocean. The ocean just kind of dissolves everything. The ocean is like the the ocean is like the ultimate mother. It's like life sort of originated in the ocean. So the ocean is like the womb. And I don't know, I think there's something very primal about that, like something instinctive about us is like when we look at the ocean, we sort of remember the mother, the mother archetype. And like it just keeps moving, and that's how life is. It's not good or bad. It's like the waves on the ocean. They go up and they go down. They go up and they go down. And it's nobody's fault. It's just how things are. So yeah, trying to make peace with who I am, trying to make peace with the ocean within myself. There's a lot of waves inside of me, but also, I feel like a lot of the waves that are going on inside of me are, I pick up the energy from the people around me, from, the collective unconscious, from the universe, and I'm somehow responsible for, creating order in my little small corner of the universe. And I'm doing the best that I can. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing a terrible job at it. Often feel guilt and shame, but guilt and shame doesn't really make anything better. We have to be kind to ourselves. We don't have to, but it would be good. The advantage for being kind to ourselves is better than, more so than being cruel to ourselves, because that just, cruelty, when we are harsh with ourselves, we don't end up actually making it better. We just keep pulling the string on the, on the bow back until eventually, it shoots out and then, hits some innocent bystander. So, yeah. Anyhow, I just came out here to sort of have a conversation with myself, and whoever happens to listen to this, but mainly I'm just expressing myself, trying to become a more conversant human being, trying to be more there for other human beings, trying to be a better father to myself and to the world, essentially. And, doing the best that I can. But yeah. Anyhow, so I think I'll leave it here. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.